Democracy is hard work, especially when you end up with the same result. And ACT residents can be thankful the election happens once every 4 years by the amount of election junk and, of course, those signs. This time, the result brought forth a kingmaker.
I think that tag of kingmaker is a bit of a strange one, really, but yes, I do have the casting vote on any contentious issue that comes before the Assembly. It'll be 8-8 with me sitting in the middle, and that's certainly a tremendous responsibility.
For first-time Labor candidate Yvette Berry, it was a long wait for the result.
All during the week we were just waiting for the numbers to come back, and I tried to keep myself busy, doing things like mowing the lawn and cleaning the house and all those activities that had been left out of the picture during the campaign.
October 20, ACT Election Day, began like any other election day, as people made their way to polling booths to cast their votes. Despite early polls declaring Labor an easy win, campaigners were out in force trying to grab those last-minute undecided votes. Each of the parties had their own approach to the campaign.
Well, the election campaign really started nearly 2 years before the actual election date for us. We went back to our party and reviewed our entire policy platform. So there's a huge array of tasks and steps in the election campaign. It's a long process.
We wanted to try and involve the community as much as possible in the campaign. We didn't want to be talking to people about things that were making them unhappy, because lots of people have things to worry about already. We wanted to give them something more positive to think about and work towards.
As polling day slowly drew to a close at 6 o'clock, the media kicked into gear to cover the counting at the tally room at CIT Reid. Commercial television and radio were in attendance. Both ABC Radio and ABC Television had extensive live coverage of the count from the tally room. For the Canberra Times and the Chronicle, all that was needed was simply a smartphone and a laptop. Many in the tally room watched the count in anticipation as the numbers were revealed for each electorate on a large screen. UC journalism students were tweeting live the count update. As the story of the election unfolded, not everyone in the room was interested in the numbers.
The media were also on hand at the party headquarters. For the Canberra Liberals, it was East Lakes Football Club, where the crowd clearly showed its support for candidates. By 9 o'clock, and with almost half the votes counted, the Libs were slightly in front, and it clearly showed in the mood and the volume of the room. ACT Labor chose the National Press Club as their headquarters. The party faithful were in attendance, along with cabinet ministers and MLA hopefuls. At 10:30, Katie Gallagher arrived to address the crowd with a realistic appraisal of the count so far.
Tonight is not the night for victory speeches for any party, not for any party. The final count will not be known for some time. There is still doubt about the 5th seat in Brindabella and the 7th seat in Molonglo, and we need to take time to see how those votes and the preference distribution actually falls.
Earlier, Labor watched on as Zed Seselja made a victory speech, although no clear winner had been announced.
Ladies and gentlemen, this election is a rejection of Labor. It is also a rejection of the Greens. Most importantly, it is a rejection of their alliance. Having rejected this alliance, ladies and gentlemen, it would be a rejection of the verdict of the people if the Labor Party and the Greens were to now forge a closer alliance.
It's actually really hard to interpret what the community told us in the vote. Even with the Greens vote, this was actually our second highest vote ever. So even those who are saying this is a complete rejection of the Greens, I don't think that analysis is correct either.
Look, you have to wait until the numbers are counted before you start making having the victory dance, if you like. And if you're going to have the victory dance, you should do it in private, I think.
Finally, 7 days after the poll, the official 8th ACT Legislative Assembly was announced. And Canberra residents can be rest assured there won't be another annoying election sign for another 4 years.